Yes, troops, the answer to your problems are often a hell of a lot simpler than you think. We, as humans, I think, try to overcomplicate all our problems, make them out to be a hell of a lot more complex and intricate than they actually are. Sometimes that makes them even harder to find and pinpoint. But let's be honest, if you're feeling unenergized, lethargic, lazy, unmotivated, and just really losing the best part about living, I suppose, then chances are you're just not doing enough. You're just not doing enough to better yourself, to actually improve and show to yourself that you want the life that you almost dream of, I suppose, right? It's like the brain's a very, very intelligent organ. It knows more, has the capacity to know and learn more than you could possibly imagine. So if you don't show it that you're willing to put in the work, willing to actually do the thing for the outcome that you want, then of course it's going to get a bit depressed, a bit anxious. And polar opposite to that is you can also sometimes do too much. You can try to put too many eggs in too many baskets and spread yourself too thin. One of my recent problems, and also that'll cause anxiety, because then your mind's like, well, what do you actually want? You're telling me you want this, telling me you want that. You're working so hard in all these areas, but what do you actually want? I think that's a question we've all got to ask ourselves repeatedly, right? It's like, do you want freedom of time, finance, location? Do you want the physique? Do you want the athletic ability? Do you want the diet? What is it that you want, honestly? We've got to ask ourselves these questions repeatedly. And a lot of you guys are wandering through life with no real understanding of where you're going, what direction you're going in, where you're going to end up, where you want to end up. And that's a dangerous thing, because you get so far down the line, and not only have you not reached the destination you wanted, you've reached a destination you never even intended to get to. It sort of just happened. You sat on autopilot and you just let life come to you rather than being in control, I suppose. And I'm not someone that's made it yet by any means. But I'll tell you one thing, I will, and I know I will. I think that's important. One thing that I've grown and developed over the last probably 2 years in particular is self-belief. And a lot of self-belief is actually just shattering the doubts that you have within yourself about your own ability and proving them wrong. See, once you prove them wrong, it is the most powerful thing you could imagine doing for yourself, honestly. Like, I can't put into words how important it is to actually get yourself to the point where you have an opportunity to break those limiting beliefs, right? I had a client where I went for a session with him about 2.5 weeks ago, and he's putting in the work big time, scranning, like hitting his calorie target week in, week out, smashing his workouts at least 80%, 90%, 90% of the time, yeah. And you've seen growth. We've hit weight goal after weight goal. We're on a route to the next one. But the first thing I said to him, or not first thing, but about halfway through the session, we were talking about putting on weight and putting on muscle and putting on strength. And I was like, I bet you one of your biggest mental flaws is that you don't actually believe you have the ability to build that muscle, to put that size on, to put that strength on. And straight away he was like, yeah, I don't at all. It's like, that's the first problem. That's the first hurdle. You've got to change that. Because, as I said earlier on, the mind is incredibly complex. It's incredibly intelligent, right? So if you tell it it's not going to be able to do something, the brain will directly impact the body and you won't be able to achieve it. You won't be able to do it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So you must crush those limiting beliefs. And first of all, that takes action. That takes getting yourself on a plan, getting yourself in a situation with either a coach or a mentor that you can actually use to lean on and take guidance from. But also, it means showing up. Crushing limiting beliefs doesn't necessarily mean you just understand what they are and then tell them that they're bullshit. No, you need to prove to them they're bullshit. But when you do that, that's when it changes. That's when the switch happens. All right. Stop that there. If you like that video, drop a wee like and subscribe. It's a pleasure as always. I'm going to sit and enjoy the sun for a couple more minutes. And yeah. Peace.